All right, I gotta shoot some while I'm here in the shop, sitting down with the phone, so I can shoot some. Cause once I get up and roll, I'm rolling. So check this out. This is how you can come out a lot cheaper, man. I'm gonna show y'all how to be a junkyard junkie like myself. That's how I started out. That's the best way to start working on stuff. You just go to the junkyard and take it apart, try to put it back together. If you break it, hey, it doesn't cost you anything. $2 to get in there, you know. So LS is the trend now. Cool, I respect that. You know, you can get your LS out the junkyard for $350. Like, well, hey, how do I know if it's good? How do I know if it's bad? Damn, you know, I don't know how to pull a motor out. Cool. Stay tuned. You know, if you follow the page and you write me on IG or Facebook, tell me you want to know how to pull a motor. I'll try to set up those videos and try to break it down to you. The simplest thing I can tell you, the best way to know what kind of motor you got or if it's worth taking the risk, which if you get out of the junkyard, you're not going to be able to crank it up. You're going to have, unless you buy it with a warranty, and then you're going to end up paying like $1,500. So if you want to go to a pick and pull and put it yourself and take a risk on it, I'm going to show you how to minimize your risk. The first thing you want to do is hopefully nobody's pulled the oil stick. So you want to check the oil stick and see if it looks like regular oil or see if it looks like it's milky or see if it has metal shavings on it. And that can tell you, hey, if it looks milky, hey, it had a blow head gasket. Head gasket really not that bad of a swap outside of the vehicle. So that wouldn't be bad. Metal shavings, I would probably leave that one if you can clearly see some big metal shavings. You want to have a spark plug wrench, take the spark plugs out of it and see if you can turn it over freely with your hand from the front of the harmonic balancer or from the back with the flywheel. Make sure you can turn the motor over, period. That's the first thing you want to try before you even think about pulling the motor out of the junkyard. Make sure that it is free. If it is free, even if something's wrong with it, hopefully it's limited and it'll still be worth rebuilding. Another good way, if you find one that, I guess, if you want to drop the transmission pan, and the transmission pan has a bunch of metal in it, which is, I'm not sure. I had to go into depth because the transmission is gonna have some metal in it. It's just part of it, but big chunks of metal. Or I've looked up before, and the cars in the junkyard still have a phone number on them. And I called the phone number. I said, hey, I'm looking at this truck in the junkyard. What was wrong with it? And they said, yeah, it had a bad transmission. Or, hey, it had a bad motor. So I looked up with that. Or either you can look at some registration that might be left in the car, and try to look them up on Facebook and ask them, hey, how did this car end up in the junkyard? You know, like that. So that's a good way to find out, you know, what's what with the motor or a transmission before you get it out of the junkyard. Like I said, I took a risk on the budget build with a transmission and it turned out good for me. You know, it shifts great. So yeah, as long as you check to make sure that it's freed up, you know, you could get into that $300-400, you know, maybe $500 LS 350, you know, that's in the junkyard. I mean, Vortex still is a good motor. I know LS is the trend, but you know, like I said, for everything that you would need, you know, looking at my budget bill, I said it's gonna be like $3,000. That's buying everything brand new. You know, you can get your LS, you know, out the junkyard for $300-400 with a pulley system already on it, and then just slap your carb on there. Which I think that setup is still probably gonna cost you about $1,000. But you know, you get $1,300, you know, for your setup instead of $3,000. You know, you wouldn't have a cam and everything, but you know, you would be up and rolling with the LS with a carb. It's the cheapest route to put carb on it for you know, like $1,300, which is a lot cheaper than $3,000. So then you can take that money and spend it somewhere else. You might want to spend that money on a fuel injection, you know, or getting a transmission rebuilt or getting your rear end done or something like that. So that's pretty much the gist of it, how to try to find you something decent in the junkyard so you don't completely burn yourself, because it is money to be saved anytime you go out there and pull it yourself, without a doubt. One love, CTC the world.